Welcome to our NCE training courses. I'm Lei from NovaStar, today's host. Our training will start soon, and the topic is NovaLCT Basic Configuration. To provide you a good training environment, we sincerely suggest you to keep your audio on mute mode during the whole session. Please scan the QR code or click the link at the chat room to sign in. If you cannot click the link, paste the copy or paste it to your browser. Thank you. And feel free to leave your questions that are related to today's topic on the chat room. We will reply you later on the Q&A session. If you have any other questions that are not related to today's topic, please feel free to send an email to nce@northstar.tech. So now, let's welcome Arno. He is today's trainer. Welcome, Arno.
Hello, everyone. I'm Arno from NovaStar training team. Welcome to NovaStar NCE webinars. To be better sharing of the Nova's technical and help more people to get a certification, we will launch online NCE, which has 8 courses and a final examination. You could get an online training certification if you sign in for the 6 courses at least and pass the final exam. This is the second course. And if you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to ask on the message room. We invite experienced engineers, Mr. Angus, who works in Europe. He will answer all the questions after the course. I hope you can have a wonderful time. Okay, let's begin today's topic. Today, I want to talk about how to configure an LED screen in Nova software. Before starting, I want to review the contents of the last lessons. Our beautiful teacher, Jenny, has already explained to us the basic structure of the LED display systems. So we know how to calculate the loading capacity. Please see these pictures. This is the basic structure of an LED display system. We know that it includes at least one video source, one sending controllers, and several receiving cards and cabinets. After the last lessons, we know how many pixels can load by one Ethernet port and how many cabinets can load by one sending card. So after that, we know how to physically connect the different parts of the LED screen. But it doesn't enough. We still need to connect the independent cabinets into a hall in the control systems so that it can display the complete image. Today, I will show you how to do this part. Before starting setting, my hobby is to check whether all devices are online and check their firmware versions. Okay, let's show you how to do this. After all the physical connections has been done, we can open and log in to the NovaLCT. As usual, the password for the synchronized systems is admin, ADMIN. Of course, I know you already know about it, but please let me to say it again. Then we can get the information. Then we can get the main interface of the NovaLCT. In this interface, we can directly type the password admin ADMIN. Yes, it's also admin ADMIN. Miraculously, we can get an interface of programs loadings. In this interface, you can click the refresh Then we can see all the devices are online. It includes receiving card and sending card. For example, in this project, the receiving card is the sending card is VX6S, and the firmware versions is 1.7.4. Also, we can see the receiving card is A8S, and the total number of the receiving card is 6. The firmware version is 4.6.1. Okay, when you know about that, maybe some people will wondering that why there are so many firmware versions and how to distinguish them. The reason is that the screen manufacturers want to improve some special functions. Oh no, why there are a lot of special requirements? I don't like it, but we still need to support that. You know that the standard firmware versions cannot support it. So we must make a lot of different kinds of customized firmware to support it. That's why we have a lot of different kinds of firmwares. But but in fact, the firmware versions of Nova's TechProtect fall into two different kinds: the standard firmwares and the customer firmwares. We can distinguish them by the names. Let's see the first one is the standard firmwares. Its names include project names and the number of firmware versions. The second one is customer firmwares. Compared with the standard firmwares, its name also includes the special contents of the customize. So you can distinguish them only by the name, but I must note you that if you find the firmware of your receiving card or sending card are the customer one, please do not change it. So I want to repeat that it's very, very important. Do not change it, because if you lost because you upgrade the wrong firmware versions, it will make your cabinet show the wrong pictures, show the wrong, sorry. Please go to confirm with your screen manufacturers whether the customer firmware is already merged into the new standard versions and following their advice. Okay, after confirming all the devices are online and the firmware versions is correct, we can start the subsequent settings. This is the basic step to the configured. If you want to configure an LED screens and make sure pixel by pixel displays, it usually contains of 4 steps: graphic card settings, sending card settings, receiving card settings, and the last step is screen connection. Okay, let's see the first step. If you use the PC or laptop as the input source, you must do this. It is its function to make sure your screen is pixel by pixel displayed. First, right-click the mouse on your desktop, select the display settings. Second, select scalar and layout, and set screens size rental to 100%. I know this step is very simple, but we often ignore it. I still remember that when I first time to calibrate on site, the calibration effect was always bad. It takes me a lot of time to do the troubleshootings. Finally, I found that the graphic card's scalar setting was not 100%. So I suggest that if you are using a computer as the input, please be sure to check the graphic card setting in the first step. Okay, now let's go to the NovaLCT software. As we had already checked and ensured all the devices are online, we can click Screen Configuration directly. Then we get to the interface like these pictures. There are 3 pages below named sending card, receiving card, and the screen connection. You know that we need to set them step by step. In the first step, it's a sending card page. The main work is setting the source configurations. It includes choose the source and set the resolution same as your screen resolution, and set the refresh rental same as your video input resolution refresh rate. Then click the set buttons. The second step is you can click refresh to check whether all the setting of sending cards has been set successfully. You can see all the information in the current display models. If all the setting is correct, don't forget to use the save button to save all things to the hardware. Why we must set the sending card resolution same as the graphic card resolution or video source resolution? It's because today we only talk about the basic step to configure the LED screen. So we need to set them. We need to make the screen pixel by pixel displayed. So when we use the PC to provide video sources, the graphic output resolution is the same as the desktop of PC. But sometimes we may use another device to provide video sources. So in this situation, please make sure the resolution of sending cards is same as the graphic card resolution or video source resolutions. It's very important. Then after the sending card settings, let's go to the receiving card settings. On this page, there is 3 main parts: models information, cabinet information, and performance settings. You know that all the contents of these 3 parts are recorded in the receiving card configuration fields, which we often call RCFGX fields. Some people may very familiar with these files. So I must say that the RCFGX fields is very, very important. You must keep it safe and do not lose it. Usually, the RCFGX fields will be provided by the manufacturers when you purchase the cabinet. Of course, NovaStar engineers can make it remotely when it's necessary, such as an old screen loses the RCFGX fields, or maybe you want to change another company's receiving card to Nova's receiving card. But in these situations, you must provide some cabinet information, such as the IC chips, the size of modules, the type of skin, and so on. Also, if you are interested in this part, you can make a configuration fields by yourself. This part will have a long story, so it's not our topic today. This part will be explained in the Nova's advanced course. You can note the information of our website. Today, we only talk about the situation that you already have the RCFGX fields, so you can load and send it directly. First, click from the load from the file to load the RCFGX fields to the NovaLCT software. The second step is to click Send to Receiving Card. Then you can see this interface. There are 3 buttons. The first one is the All Receiving Card. It means you want to send this RCFGX fields to all receiving card. It's usually used when the screen has the same cabinet. And the second is a specific receiving card. These functions you can choose only send to some receiving card. It's used in some projects, such as a completed screen with many different cabinets. So it has different RCFGX fields. In that situations, the configuration fields need to be sent separately. So in that way, you can use these functions. And recite the starting coordinates means to provide card positions. Normally we choose send to all receiving card and enable recite the starting coordinates. In that way, all receiving card will display the same starting positions. At last, it's also you should don't forget to use the save button to save all things to the hardware. Another situation is that although you don't have RCFGX fields, but some of the cabinets on your screen are displayed normal. At these times, you can read back the RCFGX fields for this cabinet and save it to your computers. Then you can use it as usual. Let me tell you how to do that. First, click read from the receiving card in here. Then we can see the interface like this. You must confirm the position of this receiving card, include sending card number, port number, and the receiving card number. Then enter the location of this receiving card, which you want to read back. The last step is click Save to the file. Then you get this RCFGX fields, so you can use it as usual. I need to say that whenever you connected PC to the sending card and open the NovaLCT, you can see the date on the page of the receiving card. But this information is from the province the receiving card instead of the current one. So if you want to do anything settings, please be sure to use the load from the file or read from the receiving card first. After these two steps, our screen should show like these pictures. Each cabinet show the same image. It is because we haven't do the screen connection. So the last step is the screen connection. This function is to tell their position to each cabinet. In that way, each cabinet only displays the image at their positions. So the LED screen can display a completed image. Let me tell you how to do that. Step 1, we need to choose the quality of screen. Because today we only talk about the basic step to configuring a screen, so we set the quality to 1 and then click configure it. Step 2, input the number of columns and rows in here. Step 3, the software will automatically recognize how many sending cards we have connected. So you only need to choose the number of the sending cards and the Ethernet port numbers. Step 4, you need to set the receiving card size. You need to write down the height and weight. Usually, this size should be equal to the cabinet size. Okay, the last step is the most important one. In this step, you need to connect all the sending card port and to make the screen connection, you can choose the quick side, one of the quick connection. And also you can make it by yourself. You choose one sending card and each Ethernet point, and then you link the cabinet edge by edge to tell the software how the cabinet connected. At last, after all the setting is finished, you must click Save to the hardware. And the last step is don't forget to use the Save buttons. Okay, you know that in each side of the step, the last step is use the Save. It's very important because if you forget to use these functions, maybe when you power it off, all the setting will lose. So whatever you settings, don't forget to use the Save. And I want to tell you there is another useful function named mapping in here. It can help us to do the screen connection more easily. When the mapping function is enabled, each receiving card will display its connected Ethernet port and the location according to its actual physical connection. Like these pictures, it will show some numbers. The P names the serial number of the Ethernet port to each receiving card is connected. And the sharp means the series number of receiving card in this port. So we just need to follow the numbers to finish the screen connection in the software. No need to care about wrong orders. So it makes our screen connection more easily. You can imagine that if there is a big screen with a lot of different kinds of sending cards and a lot of cabinets and receiving cards, the screen connection work will be very, very difficult. So if you have these functions, it will make you more easily. But I must to say that only ARM series receiving card and some kind of MRV receiving card can support these functions. So when you use it, and when you click the mapping and there nothing happened, you need to check whether your receiving card has support these functions. Okay. Also, if the screen display is normal, you can click the read from the hardware and then click Save to the file to save all this data as a file. It's easy for you to use it directly next time. Then, even if you already have the configuration fields, which is SCR files, you can click Load from the file directly, then click the Save System Connection to keep it. Besides, there are two useful functions: detach the communication and read the number of receiving cards. When you enable these functions, you will see the interface like this. The software will check the out communication status of the receiving card. The red color means the communication to the software to the receiving card is correctly. This is a basic step to configure a LED screen. It can help you to solve most of regular projects. But if you want to do configuring an explained project, there will be more steps. We will introduce them one by one in subsequent courses, such as the 4K solutions, multi-screen with one sending card, and also we will talk about how to make a backup. You're welcome to participate. Okay, this is all the training for today. Thank you for your attention. Please scan the QR code or click this link at the Zoom message to fill up the feedback. We will direct the videos to these stations. You can get a video link on the next stations, or you can follow NOVA YouTube channels to see these videos. If you have any further questions, please feel free to connect with us at nce@novastar.tech. Okay, I will take more time to the Q&A times. I'd like to hand this part to our experienced engineers, Angus. He will answer all the questions you have posted on the message room, and during the whole process, you can still post the further questions for us. We need to take around 1 minute to get all this ready. Thank you.